I don't want to be that kind of girl.
The kind of girl who watches Ishtar?
The kind of girl who just falls apart because she doesn't have a boyfriend.
That description hardly applies to you.
It will if I wallow.
Hey guys, I just finished season 1, episode 17, the breakup part 2. And the big plot for this episode was it was pretty much the aftermath of Dean and Rory breaking up. And it also introduced the concept of wallowing. Let's dive in. I thoroughly enjoyed this episode because basically the big thing is last episode, Dean told Rory that he loves her and Rory could not say it back, so they broke up. And Rory is not coming to terms with that. Like, she's mad at Dean basically at the moment because she feels like he doesn't want to be my boyfriend. That's fine. Even though like she's not telling anyone the reason they broke up. She's just focusing on he doesn't want to be my boyfriend, whatever. So it's kind of like that teenage kind of immaturity that we're seeing in this episode. And the thing that she doesn't want to admit is she doesn't want to take the time to wallow and to kind of like mope in her feelings the fact that she lost her first boyfriend. Like, she doesn't want to take that time. She's like, I don't want to be one of those girls that sits and cries just because I don't have a boyfriend. So she tries to busy herself so she doesn't focus on the fact that she is not in a relationship right now. So Lorelai tries to push her to actually wallow and she's like, I'm not doing that. They basically spend the next day doing errands that they've been putting off for a while just so she can keep busy so she's not focusing on the fact that her and Dean broke up. And the thing that's crazy in this episode is somehow the whole town knows that they broke up by like 6 a.m. the next day. Like, it's crazy. And so Luke in this episode was wild. This is always one of my favorite scenes is when Rory and Lorelai are at the diner. And basically Lorelai just tells Luke that Rory and Dean broke up. And so Luke sees Dean about to come into the diner and he runs out and he straight up tries to fight a 16-year-old. Like, this episode was wild for no reason. Like, come on. So he's outside basically trying to fight Dean. He's like, you can't come in here, because he's like, no, you can't have coffee. You can't come in here. That's not okay. And so he's outside fighting, and then Lorelai sees them and she's like, Luke, what is wrong with you? He is 16 years old. And then when Dean tries to walk past Luke's diner, Luke tries to go at him again. I'm like, this is wild. I don't know why the writers did it, but it's so funny. And it's so over the top too. But anyway, so the whole town knows and everyone is pretty much just taking Rory's side, which isn't really fair because Dean didn't really do anything. It was more Rory was the reason they broke up. Yeah, so everyone's kind of against Dean in this episode, which really kind of sucks. And it kind of makes you feel bad for Dean a little bit because he really didn't do anything and he's just kind of like being ostracized by the whole town. So another thing that Rory tries to do to stay busy is she goes to Madeline's party at Chilton. She brings Lane. Lane meets this other Korean guy there and it's so cute, so precious. And so Rory goes, and while she's at the party, you kind of see how Rory and Paris's relationship has kind of developed, and they're actually like, they're not exactly friends, but they're in a better place than they were before. And so they kind of hang out at the party together. Paris is just ready. She's like, I gotta stay till 10:30, then I can leave. So she's just counting down the time until she can fly out there and go back home. And so at the party too, Tristan and his girlfriend are making scenes all over the place because Tristan wants to leave. His girlfriend is basically cheating on him at the party, dancing with other guys, going into rooms with other guys. And so they have this big breakup. And also because Rory just broke up with Dean, Tristan just broke up with his girl, they're both kind of like in their minds a little bit. And, you know, Tristan likes Rory. Rory is just being a brat kind of this episode with the whole breakup, not wanting to deal with it. And so Tristan and Rory kiss. Woo! And Rory cried when she kissed Tristan. And what I remember, this causes an issue later, I think, when her and Dean get back together. I don't exactly remember, but I think it does because Dean's like, I told you I loved you and you kissed Tristan. Like, this is not going to be good. But yeah, she kisses Tristan, and in her doing that, it makes her realize that she now needs to go and wallow. Yeah, so she goes home and she's like, Mom, I'm ready to wallow. And so the episode ends with Lorelai ordering pizza. So I like this episode because I think the concept of wallowing is amazing. And I love to wallow. I really do. And so that's kind of, the show brought that to me. So I thoroughly enjoyed this because it just introduces the concept, and everyone wallows different. It's just kind of like something, I feel like a coping mechanism in life to wallow and to kind of get your emotions out, and then you can move forward with your life. So another thing is we get Max Medina. Max Medina comes back and they have a little fling, Lorelai and Max, and basically they're going to start communicating again and talk via phone to kind of get to know each other better and start building up their relationship, just because they realize how hard it is for them to stay apart for each other because the flame is still there and they still have feelings. And so I'm so excited because you already know Max Medina. I like me some Max Medina. Okay, I'll see you guys in the next episode.
This has been another episode of Real Talk with Noelle.